Today we're going to show you how to put on a cold air induction kit on a 95 Toyota Camry. Here we've got the cold air induction tube. Here we've got the air filter. Here's the kit that comes with it. Comes with all your brackets, comes with adapters. Here's your hose extension for your O2 sensor. And we're going to show you how to put it on. Basically, the reason why I'm changing this is because the air box has actually cracked. The air tube box is cracked. So why not go ahead and put a cold air induction kit on it. So if you just have a 10mm, it's got a screw here and a screw here. What you do is you just back these off. So I'll show you here. Back this one off, and then it has another one right here, right by the air box. So you just back this one off too. And then right down in here, you have another one that connects to the air box. This is your sound reducer box. What you do is you back that off. Now then you can remove the tube with the air box sensor. You can see how badly cracked it is. What I'm going to do is just pull this out, get it out of the way. Set that off to the side. Now then you have a clip here in front. You've only got 3 clips that hold this. You just undo that one, do this one, and then this one. Now then this is ready to come out. Now you can just pull that air filter and get it out of your way. Now then you have a total of 3 bolts that hold the air box in. So you just want to back those off. Get them real good and loose so you can go ahead and pull it out. Alright, now we've got our bolts loose. Gonna pull those out of our way. Set them off to the side. You really won't need those for anything. And then that just slides out just like that. Pretty simple. This is where the air box would breathe in. As you can tell, these are real bad about cracking. You can see where that crack is right there. Set that off to the side from that time. Alright, and what you want to do is you're going to grab that air box tube, just grab it. What I always like to do before I even try putting it on is I like to back these off a little bit. Now this has got an adapter too for a smaller size. Right here in the center, we are going to need that for this model. As you can tell, it fits it just about right. This would be way too big to fit it. So you stick that in there. I always like to turn these up to where I can access them easily, so it's easier to remove if it needs to be removed again. Just slide it in. Turn these to where you want them. Always like to kind of face them upwards. Make sure that no hoses, or make sure nothing's in the way. Then you just take your 5/16 or your flathead, just tighten them up. Now that you got that one tight, you come over here and tighten up your other one. Make sure you got about the same distance in between the clamps so it's not offset and screwing awkward. And that's that. We have our air tube sensor. So what you're going to have to do is you want to roll this to where it's got easy access. So I'm going to grab an Allen wrench, set it in here and back these off. And then you can just rotate it around to where you need it to be able to hook it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it like this so I can work on it easier. Now I'm going to come over here to the installation kit. Here's your tube extension, if you need it, which probably we will use it. These are your brackets used to help hold it down. Here you have your adapters right here. This right here is your air tube sensor. Now as you can tell, it's not going to fit in there at all. So what we're going to have to use is we're going to have to use one of these adapters that come in the kit. So what you do is you want to make sure you find the right one. What's easier is just to put it in and see how it feels. That side fits really good, your little extension tube, and that fits really good. As you can tell, this fits very tight, which is good. It'll have a really good seal. So we're going to use this. You can cut this to the length whatever you need. I'd have it as close as possible. And you want to make sure it's a really tight fit because you don't want to have any trash that can be sucked up into the motor at all. So you want to make sure this is a tight fit. But now what you do is you grab your little extension hose and you just cut you off a piece. I'm just going to cut off a piece about 2.5 inches or 3 inches. Cut me a piece, make sure you don't cut yourself. Just cut you off a piece about like so. You want to make sure this is all the way sealed up to the lip. As you can tell it is, and on both sides it is. All you need to do now is grab your air filter. This is going to be kind of a tight fit, especially with our battery right here. And if you wanted to, you could pull it off right here, but this would be better to be farther away from the motor. That's the whole purpose of having a cold air induction kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try to slide it on. It ain't going to work. Okay, so that was kind of a trick to try to get it on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this end off. Just loosen this back off. Alright, and then that just slides out. Okay, so now we've got our filter. What I went ahead and did is anyways, I don't want to pull it out because it's a lot of work to get it back in there. What I did is I just loosened off this Allen head right here, loosened this off. I pulled this extra little tube extension. Each one of these are tube extensions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back together and make sure your O-ring, as I lose it, stays in place. So now I've got it set like that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it in. Make sure that O-ring does not drop out. What you do is you just put it in just like that. Hold it wherever you need. It's always a good idea too to put your hose clamp on before. And like I said, this filter is a lot of work putting it on, so make sure you really need 2 people because you can buckle this filter and ruin it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tighten this up. Like I said, I want to make sure they're all facing about the same direction, but make sure this is good and snug up against it. Make sure you got a little bit of a feel to it to make sure that O-ring's in there. It's not out of place. Like if you roll it and it wants to catch, make sure it doesn't want to catch because that O-ring's probably not in place. Now that I get this tight, you don't want to tighten this up too much because this plastic will break and snap. So got that like so. Now then, just grab my 5/16. Come back over here. But also too, you want to make sure that this filter is even on here. You know, I could pull it a little bit farther out, but I want to make sure it's good and even on it. So I'm going to place it about right there. I want to get it kind of farther out, so I want to grab that cold air that was still coming in from the factory, like a ram air design. So I'm going to place it right there. And then just tighten it up. Okay, so now we have our oxygen sensor right here, and what I want to do is I want to put it right here so it doesn't have the gravity to want to fall out. So I'm going to place it right here. I've already got this assembled. It's good and tight on either side. Just put it in right there. What you can do is you can zip tie it to something to have it to where it'll stand up like that, to where it's not hanging down. So I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it right here. And then too, on your throttle cable, I'm going to zip tie it to this like this so it's not hanging on our airbox tube and allow it to want to sag. Alright, that's how you put an airbox filter on a 95 Toyota. Pretty simple. Not too long a time. Probably estimating you could probably do it in about 10 minutes if you have everything prepared. But that's it. Thanks.